Absolutely. We'll talk about the real estate market first. I think that um, if we go into inflationary times, and that's what would cause interest rates to go up, well, and we're in a real estate shortage where there's just physically not enough homes for people to live in. Higher interest rates may damper demand for purchases, but you also have the rental side of the equation. And if less people are purchasing homes and more people are renting them, and we don't have enough homes for everyone, then you're going to start seeing inflationary pressure on rents, which we're already seeing that. Vacancy rates are almost at a historical low right
Sure,
now.
the owner can raise rents and
They
he's
can
still got
raise
a demand.
rents and everything else. And so if that asset is cash flowing at a higher level, that will reflect back into value. So it really doesn't matter whether the demand is for rent or the demand is for home ownership. The values will rise if we have a shortage of homes.
Yes.
So if interest rates go up and mortgage rates go up, then I think home ownership will not improve as well as it would have if it hadn't done that. But
Well,
we'll see more inflation in rent, which
when
will
you
bring
said
prices up.
your example of your PE ratio
Mm-hmm.
and it increases, when you talk about an increase in rent in this shortage of rental property, you're talking about an increase in your PE ratio.
The increase in the cap rate stays the same. If you get it, if like the example I gave before, if you buy a $100,000 house and the rent is 10,000, net rent is 10,000, you're at a 10 cap. If that house goes to 200,000 and that rent stays the same, you're at a 5 cap. But if that rent also goes to 20,000,
Right. You balanced out.
your cap
You
rate's the
balanced out.
same.
Right.
So
It makes real estate, in this case, a good investment.
absolutely. If the shortage, interest rates I don't think are going to have an effect long term on real estate values. I think you have to look at the shortage. The biggest component that I look at is the scarcity of finished lots, the scarcity of entitled land, and the 3 years it's going to take before we get that back. They started entitling land about a year ago again, but we're going to have to wait till that comes online.
Well, so let me make sure I understand what you're saying. And you're talking on a national level.
On a national level.
A national level. You're suggesting that, yes, of course, higher interest rates is going to hamper home values from increasing. But the
No, I
higher
didn't-
interest rate is
no, I-
overshadowed by the fact there's a lack of inventory.
Yes.
Yes. And the lack of inventory is a more important factor in the equation than a mere 1% bump in rate.
Absolutely. You look at during the heyday, when everyone was buying 3 houses and and builders were building into that demand. That was a false demand. It was a speculative demand. We were put in a situation where we had way too many homes.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fed took mortgage rates to historic low rates. What happened? Did real estate come ripping back again? No, it didn't. It kept going down. So on the way down, interest rates had no effect whatsoever. Government programs had no effect whatsoever. Nothing had any impact. There was only one way that to solve the real estate mess that we were in, is that we had to wait. We had to wait till the population grew into the supply. And
Nobody
we're
wants
there,
to wait.
and we're there now. So everything that the Fed tried to do had no impact whatsoever. We had to wait.